Hey guys, today I'm at the Dedham Historical Society, my town's historical society. So today I'm here because I want to know more about the pottery I found boulder digging. It's got bunnies on it. I want to know what it's from, or see if anyone can date it. But so looking around here, over here, Vicky, the director of the Historical Society, is going to tell us about some of the history.
Well, Dedham Pottery was actually the precursor of the pottery was called Chelsea Ceramic, and that was in sort of the 1870s. And what happened then is they moved here to Dedham in 1896, and were here through 1943 when the pottery closed. And that happened for a couple of reasons. We were starting to get close to being in World War II. We didn't have the workforce that we needed. And also people were more focused on spending money associated with the war rather than having luxury goods. So what you're seeing in here are all different variations. People tend to think it's only the rabbit, but as you'll see from some of the video, there are lots of different images that came out of Dedham pottery, lots of different animals and plant designs. Now you'll also see as we go along on the back, sometimes you'll see initials or you'll see other trademarks, and those help us in determining what time period these were actually made, because there were a couple of different generations of the family that actually were overseeing the Dedham pottery production.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things here?
Let me open this for you.
I got it.
And what you can see are here is incised images that would tell us the date. Sometimes it's a stamp. And all of that will again tell us whether it was an early piece or a later piece.
All right. Over there, over in the over here, what are some of the rare ones?
Well, some of the more interesting and rare ones, again, let me lift this up, you can get a better look at it. The elephant is always interesting to people, especially if you get to see the little baby elephant in there. And those tend to be very, very popular with folks, as well as the polar bear is always a fun and interesting piece for people to see. Now you'll also see different variations of the same thing, the same theme. So the elephants here may not always look the same as elephants that you would see in other places. Even here with the polar bear, you can see differences between the way they're painted. Remember, this was all done by hand, so each artist had their own way of designing and painting some of these images.
Let's move on.
Some of the more interesting pieces in this case is this owl. I think is always fascinating because it's so subtle, you really have to look to see what design that one is. Another one people have fun with is our turtle, because they're in pairs. But they didn't just do border designs. Hopefully you've also noticed there's some, such as the lobster and the crab, that you get an interior circuit design, not just always on the outside border.
All right, cool.
This shows you some of the a variety of the different kinds of pieces they did. These pictures are lovely because it's sunrise or morning and evening with the moon. So you get the two different time periods of the day. I also like this particular oriental type of bowl with its unusual cut around the top.
Let's go over here.
And this is always interesting to folks when we use the word nappy. We often use that word when we think of diapers, but a nappy actually means a bowl. So it would be an open nappy, an open bowl, or you might get a closed nappy in which you would have one that would have a lid of some type.
All right. I found a lot of those, I found a lot of broken ones digging.
Okay. And then these are just examples of some of the plate molds that you would see that they would use to create the different designs. In the early years, the mold itself would actually put the pattern on the plate and then it would be painted. In later years, they used just a flat mold and they would hand paint the design. So again, that gives us an indication of whether it's an early piece or a later piece.
Alright. I think, I found out a lot more about Dedham pottery, so thank you very much. Alright guys, that's just some cool stuff of the historical town of Dedham, and hope you guys enjoyed.